Welcome to this Parnassus video, which looks at eCertificates and certificate validation. We're going to be covering the items on this menu option, and the demonstration starts with looking at exactly how you can produce a batch of certificates. The bottom half of the screen is a print queue, a series of batches of certificates waiting to be printed. And to create a new batch of certificates, the standard way of doing that is to start off the certificate batch wizard, choose your qualification, and specify a number of other criteria for creating a batch of certificates. You can select a specific centre, or ask the system to look across all centres in the system, or create a batch of certificates based on a date range, or for a specific learner, or all sorts of other criteria. And then once you've created your batch of certificates, it'll appear as a row in the print queue down the bottom half of the screen. So I've already created a batch of certificates here, and if I was printing them on paper, my normal mode of operation would be to click on the print preview button and then to send the certificates to the printer. And then when they've successfully come out on the printer, to mark the batch as having been printed by clicking this button over here. And then the batch is removed from the queue of certificates to be printed. So that's all functionality that's been in the system for a number of years. And now we're going to look at the new areas, the areas of eCertificates and certificate validation. Once a batch of certificates has been added to the print queue, they are also available as eCertificates. So that same batch that I was looking at just now is available on the eCertificate list to be downloaded. I'm logging in as an admin member of staff here, somebody who works for the awarding body, but I'm going to log out and log back in again as a centre. So centres can log into Parnassus and see a list of all the eCertificates that are waiting to be downloaded. So here's the same batch that we were looking at a second ago when I was logged in as an admin user, and I can click on this button to download this batch. The batch of certificates downloads as a zip file, and we can open that up. So there are three separate certificates, three separate eCertificates, three separate PDF files. An eCertificate is simply a PDF file. We can look at a PDF file. So it's as simple as that for eCertificates. The centre can log in, download a PDF file and print it themselves. Or the centre can distribute those PDF files to the learner for the learners to print this. There's a configuration setting in the system that enables you to determine whether the zip file contains three separate PDF files, as it does in this particular example, or whether the whole group of certificates should be included in one single PDF file. And as you can see, once the batch of certificates has been downloaded by the centre, it's removed from the list here. However, they can also click this option at the top to view batches that they've previously downloaded. So that's eCertificates. Let's have a look at certificate validation now. There is a function in Parnassus which enables you to validate a certificate. This page is designed to be embedded in your own website, so with your look and feel around the edge, and anybody can access this page across the internet. You don't have to log in first. So if we take a look at the certificate that we just created, it may be that a year later a potential employer wants to verify that this certificate is indeed valid, and that potential employer can come to this page and enter the details. Reading these details off the certificate, Because this web page is open to the public with no login, then you need to confirm that you are not a robot and click validate. The system now confirms the details on that certificate are valid by showing this message at the top and confirming all the details back to the person. You can also set up the system to show a view of the certificate, and that will be displayed here. That's an optional extra feature that you can enable. If we'd entered a mistake on the details, or if the certificate was not valid, then you would see this message in red. You can configure how that message is worded and the look and feel if you want it to be larger in different font and so on. And there are a number of other options in the certificate validation area. So I said we'd come back and look at barcodes, QR codes. I've got another certificate here for the same qualification that I've scanned in from a paper certificate. It could just as easily be an e-certificate. And it's got a barcode down in the bottom left-hand corner. The barcodes can actually be displayed anywhere on the certificate template. We customize these templates to your preferences, putting your responsible officer or CEO signature on them and positioning the logos where you want. And it's exactly the same with the QR code anywhere. With your phone, you could bleep the QR code. You can present the QR code to the camera on your laptop, or you can click on it within certain software, and all of those mechanisms simply take you to a page like this. It's as simple as that. So if you bleep that QR code with your phone, potential employer, then it immediately takes you to this page, which could be configured with your look and feel, your branding of your own website. That concludes this Parnassus video, which looked at eCertificates and certificate validation. Please contact us if you'd like further information or a more detailed demonstration.